Is it possible to put foreground process into background without suspending Ctrl+Z? I am running an application which receives TCP and UDP packets and therefore cannot be suspended. I initially ran 3 processes of the same application with different arguments in background mode using AND. When I did only $FG, all 3 processes came into foreground. Now I want to send them to background again but without suspension. How can I do that?
The easiest way for you to do this is to use the screen program. You can start your application within the virtual terminal, then exit the screen with Ctrl+AD. If you want to resume your session, you type screen X. If you have multiple processes, you will be presented with a list of screens to reattach to. For more details, please read the screen man page.
First things first, there can only be one process in the foreground, not all 3. FG brings the latest process into foreground. To make the process of Ctrl+C, then typing BG faster to not disturb the application in question. Note that the process scheduler will do this anyway many times per second. Find out the PID of the process in foreground, then in a second terminal/SSH session, use. Your original terminal will say stopped, but since you send a sigcont right away, the process will continue to run in the background.
If you really have a foreground job, then bash is waiting for it to complete. That's more or less the definition of a foreground job. If bash still has control of the terminal, check what's happening with jobs L, e.g. I started 3 background NCAT listening processes for this. You may also see done or stopped for a job status. You can effectively background a foreground job from a different shell using Stefan Seidel's sigstop the sigcont method, though the actual signal sent by a shell with Ctrl-Z is sigst, the signal should work. There is a subtle distinction between processes and jobs when the terms foreground and background are used. There is only one shell foreground job. There can be multiple foreground processes, but this is related to terminal process group IDs, and can be observed when you start 2 or more processes in a pipeline. A running processes or pipeline under the control of the shell is referred to as a job. When you use the BG or FG command, you're implicitly referring the most recent job, in my case the one with the plus in the above. These jobs can also, or amongst other things, be referred to explicitly as %1, %2 or %3, or the number in. An unqualified FG command will only affect one job, the most recent, so you may be mistaken in your understanding of the current situation. A background job may still write to the terminal. It can depend on how the program handles the terminal. NCAT works fine for writing. For reading, though, programs will stop execution, and you'll see a stopped message. The shell will start processes and wait for them to exit or receive a sigtin signal, or no hub is a way around this, as is disown. You can background a specific stopped job with. In my case, I will get the error bash column BG column job 3 already in background. Otherwise, if a process is in the foreground, unless the program catches sites and does something special, it's unlikely to have problems with a quick Ctrl-Z and BG. There's nothing special about network programs in this respect. Incoming connections or data will be buffered by the kernel, or up to a point. A streaming connection may have an observable pause though. See the Job Control section of the bash man page for more details.
For more to support the channel, please consider liking and subscribing.